Well, here we go with another daily upload, as I really don't know why it feels like it's been like a week since I've uploaded on the channel. But in all seriousness though, what the heck? What has freaking happened, dude? What's freaking happened in the NFL the past like 10 days? Literally some of the most mental trades of all time has gone down. And something that we like to do here on the channel is take the real life trades that have happened in real life and see how they'd go about in Madden 20 franchise. So we're going to take all the craziest trades that have happened in the past week. You guys know what I'm talking about. All the mental trades. I'm going to see how stupid EA Sports and Madden Simulation thinks the NFL organizations are for completing some of these absolute freaking corncob type trades we have seen in this past week. Now, in all seriousness, I do want to apologize. It has been a while since I have uploaded. I know you guys need content to watch during this crazy time, so I promise you I'm trying to do better. There's things I need to work on personally. But if you guys are excited for the return of the uploads, hopefully we can make it daily this week. And if you are excited, make sure to smash a huge thumbs up. Let's see if we can go for like 5,000 likes in the first 24 hours for today's upload, and we will for sure upload tomorrow. Make sure to subscribe if you are new and turn on the notification bell if you haven't. Guys, the $1,000 cash giveaway is active over on Instagram. We have like a week or so left to join, so I will leave a link to my Instagram description box below. Go over there, go follow, look at the last post so you can go and enter the giveaway and have a chance to win $1,000. With that said, time to get into trade number one. It is going to be probably a pretty chill video, but these videos for me are always super fun and interesting to record. Now, first trade that we are going to try and attempt does involve the Denver Broncos. The Broncos went out and acquired themselves a pretty good cornerback from the Jacksonville Jaguars, none other than Bouye, 84 overall in terms of Madden 20, 29 years of age, and all it took to bring in a solid cornerback for them who's going to ultimately replace Chris Harris is a 4th round freaking draft pick. And I mean, he's a solid cornerback, of course. Now Jacksonville's without Bouye and freaking Jalen Ramsey now, but all it took was a 4th round draft pick from this year. Now, I'm fully expecting this not to go through, and when it doesn't go through, like it did in real life, look at that. According to Madden 20, if this happened in real life, like the goddamn Broncos would need like 37 more 4th round draft picks for this to actually happen. So off the bat, you see how stupid Madden Simulation is. But with that said, let's see what it does take for the Broncos in Madden 20 to acquire Bouye. So we are just going to keep the 4th round pick, and I know I'll always kind of mispronounce his last name. Just give me a freaking break, dudes. So they do need a quarterback. Maybe they would be willing to take on, and they don't want Joe Flacco. They already don't have much cap space as it is. So if we have to just throw in some draft picks here. So how about if we throw on top of that 4th that it took in real life, how about a 2nd round draft pick from this year? Not even freaking close, dudes. So we're also going to throw in a 1st and a 2nd into this trade. Barely over halfway. So in freaking real life, it only took the 4th round pick. In Madden 20, add on a 1st and a 2nd. And it's still not even freaking close to going through. So it did go and turn salary cap off, so it doesn't really mess the video up. Chris Harris, he's no longer a Bronco in real life, but just for this video's sake, we threw him in. So a straight swap, a 90 overall for an 84. And that's not even close to halfway. But on top of Chris Harris, who according to Madden is a better cornerback than AJ, we throw in that 1st round pick. Would this quite be enough? It's getting closer, a little bit closer. So a 2nd round draft pick, Chris Harris, and a 1st round pick. And it's still freaking declined, dudes. So what are we going to have to throw in here? This is insane. How about Justin Simmons, a freaking beast of a free safety, added in this deal? It is still not accepted, dudes. Madden is so freaking stupid. So if we throw in maybe a decent wide receiver, Cortland Sutton, a young beast, okay, so I don't know if this trade will ever be accepted. And that's insane because it's freaking only Bouye. It took a 1st round or 4th round pick in real life for this deal to get accepted. Dudes, this video can take an hour. This video can take a goddamn freaking hour. So how about freaking this? Von Miller, Chris Harris, and Justin Simmons. Come on now. This has got to be accepted. Madden's so dumb. How about the 1st? Von Miller, Justin Simmons, and the 1st. This is so dumb. Okay. So we went out there and acquired the number 3 overall draft pick according to Madden 20 to hopefully boost the value up enough so we can actually get AJ Bouye. And there's probably going to be a few players in today's video that it's been a while since I made videos like this, but there's a term I like to use, impossible players to get. That means that there's literally no package in the game at $3.99 overall players that are 20 years old with maximum potential wouldn't be enough to bring the trade in. And for some reason, Madden only allows you 3 picks or 3 players or picks to add in for a deal. Hopefully they add that to like 4 or 5, because even in today's video, one of the trades are kind of already messed up because it took 4 picks to get a player and you can't add in 4 picks. But that's beside the point. Point is, we're throwing AJ Bouye, and now we have the number 3 pick. And now maybe if we throw in Von Miller and Justin Simmons, maybe this will be accepted. It's still god dang declined, dude. I'm about to quit. Okay, I'm not going to go to this extreme for every single trade. I just want to prove a point here. So now we have the number 1 overall draft pick. We're going to send this trade in there. Now on top of this, Chris Harris and Justin Simmons, please, I freaking beg, dude. If not, we're just not going to get Mr. AJ. I feel like this will be accepted because the number 1 overall pick's pretty big in Madden. And with that, no, this is stupid. This is so goddamn stupid. I'm done with AJ. How about both of our first round draft picks and Justin Simmons? There it freaking goes. There it goddamn goes. So that took 10 minutes of my time in real life. So in real life, it takes a 4th round pick, put a Madden 20, takes the number 1 overall pick, the 15th pick, and a freaking all-pro free safety. If this is a sign of how this video is gonna freaking go, dude, I'm gonna be sat here for like an hour and a half making trades. So next trade does involve the Baltimore Ravens. Once again, taking a huge player off that Jacksonville Jaguar defense, and that is Mr. Calais Campbell. 95 overall according to Madden 20. So in the space of 1 year, the Jags have lost. They're probably going to lose Yannick Ngakoue too. I don't think he's going to sign. Calais Campbell, him, AJ Bouye, and Jalen Ramsey. Absolutely mental. All it takes for the Ravens to bring in one of the best players in the league in terms of defense is a 5th round selection. So I know Calais Campbell is getting on up there in age, but still, man, he's still an absolute menace on that front 7. The Baltimore Ravens got so much better, but there's no goddamn way this happens in Madden 20. Now, we'll say the Calais Campbell trade, I'll predict, is probably going to be easier to complete in Madden because Madden always values players that are over 30. Like, it's stupid. Like, we're probably going to be able to get them for pretty easy in comparison to, like, the AJ Bouye trade. But still, like, this shows you, according to Madden 20, the Jags are stupid because it would take, they would only accept maybe 17 5th round selections here, but I think maybe like a 2nd should be enough to get them potentially. It shouldn't take near as long. He's the last one. So a 2nd round draft pick makes it pretty simple. So on top of that, we're throwing the 5th round selection that it did take in real life. So 2nd and a 5th for Calais Campbell. It's finally in terms of the green interest. So last but not least, let's throw in there, like, let's throw a running back here. How about Gus Edwards? A solid number 2 running back for the Jags behind Leonard Fournette. And there we go. So a lot simpler than the last trade. But once again, in real life, it only took the Baltimore Ravens their 5th round selection, but Madden 20 takes a 2nd and Gus Edwards on top of that. So back to the Broncos once again, and hopefully this is not as hard as the first trade was to complete. But this trade actually hit home a little bit. My Tennessee Titans decided to trade away one of our most consistent and productive players on the defensive side of the football in the past decade, and that is none other than Mr. Jurrell Casey. He's only an 85 in Madden, but the man, he just turned 30 years of age, and for some reason, the Titans took simply a 7th round selection in order for them to ship on one of their best defensive players to the Broncos. Now, it was basically them just shedding cap space, but still crazy. They only got a 7th round selection. Now, there are huge rumors that we might potentially bring in Jadeveon Clowney with that money. Now, if that's the case, I'm super happy with that, but if not, I'm super confused. Now, obviously, this isn't going to happen in Madden 20. You're probably going to need about 48 7th round selections. But just for the video's sake, look at that, dude. It's about as big as my freaking pecker. Now, we no longer have a 1st round selection. How about a 2nd? I'm about to quit right here. Like, this is so dumb, man. Took a 7th in real life. And once again, we probably can trade our top 3 players away. Like, I'm not even going to fight with this one. Literally, our top 3 players, it's barely halfway here. It's barely freaking halfway for Von Miller, Kareem Jackson, and they're still in that 2nd round selection for Jurrell Casey. It's not freaking worth it. It's not freaking worth it. So simply enough, in real life, it only took the 7th round selection, but in Madden 20, Von Miller, Kareem Jackson, the 2nd round draft pick isn't quite enough. Now, this might actually be the only trade I believe that actually happens and is accepted like it was in real life in Madden 20, and that involves the Atlanta Falcons, they lost Austin Hooper, and to replace him, they bring in Mr. Hayden Hurst, the former first-round selection. And also in this deal, do bring in a fourth-round selection from this year, so going to make it as realistic as possible. And in return, it took a second and a fifth-round selection to bring in Hayden Hurst. Now, with him being a tight end, they value tight ends really low in Madden 20, so maybe this gets accepted. There freaking goes. Wow. They only valued Hayden Hurst 1 star. Now, this is where the video starts to get a little wild. These are where the trades start picking up here. The Indianapolis Colts bringing a pretty big player for their front seven, and that's none other than Mr. DeForest Buckner from the San Francisco 49ers, former NFC champions. He's only an 86 overall, but he's still an absolute monster. It was a beast for him last year, and all it took, I say all it took, it did take a first-round selection. As you guys already seen in today's video, when it takes only a 7th-round selection in real life for a team to get Jurrell Casey, a player of his caliber, it shows you how good DeForest Buckner is when it takes a first-round selection. Now, I don't know if this will be accepted. It's going to be pretty close. The reason being is because for some reason Madden just values different positions really weird, and defensive tackle is one that you normally can get for pretty easy in trades in franchise mode, so I don't think it'll be accepted, but I think it'll be relatively close. When you compare this to the Bouye trade, this is goddamn heaven right here. On top of that, maybe a 4th and a 5th. I don't think this will be accepted, but be relatively close. It didn't even hardly go up that much. So how about a 1st and a 3rd? I don't want to trade away a player if I don't have to. And it still didn't get accepted. So instead of that, we will throw in a player from the Colts in return. They need a wide receiver. So how about Mr. Zach or Chester Rogers in this deal? They don't want either of those. How about Devin Funchess? They do want Devin Funchess, so a first-round selection and Devin Funchess, a 79 overall in return, still not accepted, but this should be easy now. We throw in something pretty crappy here, like a 5th-round selection. When I say that, that's what it took to get Calais Campbell. But we add this in there. It's still decline now. It's just going to start to get on my freaking nerves. So, a 4th, I think this for sure should be enough. And finally, in real life, it only takes a first-round selection, but in Madden 20 also takes on top of that a good wide receiver in Funchess, a 4th-round selection. Next trade involves the Philadelphia Eagles. They bring in a pretty big player for that secondary, Darius Slay. They got him for pretty cheap. He's an 87 overall in Madden. They only got him for a 3rd and a 5th-round selection. But once again, in comparison to some other trades, 3rd and 5th is a lot. But still, it's Darius Slay, a super solid cornerback. Now, I don't think this is going to be close because in Madden, Darius Slay has not hit 30, which means they should value him more than what Bouye was. So with that being the case, this is going to be an absolute freaking nightmare. But we'll submit this through. And yeah, dude, this is going to be an absolute goddamn nightmare. But we're going to try. We're going to try. So our top players now, Fletcher Cox, Jason Kelce. Our top 2 players, I don't even want Jason Kelce, but Brandon Brooks too. Brandon Brooks and Fletcher Cox, submit this through. It's not even halfway to going through. I don't even think I want to deal with this nonsense. How about Zach Ertz as well? They don't want Zach Ertz. So instead of him, Lane Johnson, you want him. They do need a right tackle. It's like freaking 3/4 of the way, man. I just don't even think this is going to be a possibility. So how about instead of Brooks, the 1st-round selection? Okay, so if this doesn't work, I don't know what to tell you. Last thing I'm going to try. I went out and acquired number 1 and number 2 overall selection, which you guys know how highly valued this would be in real life. And on top of that, our best player, Fletcher Cox. And now, if this is not enough to bring in Darius Slay, I don't know what to freaking tell you. So here we are, Darius Slay, an 87 overall in Madden for the 1st, 2nd overall picks, and Fletcher Cox from the best 2 tackles in the league. It's freaking declined. I quit at that point. So literally my last possible attempt. We have the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd picks in the draft. Will this be accepted? Not even freaking close. Now, second to last trade, using the Buffalo Bills. You guys know what's about to happen here. Probably the 2nd biggest trade so far of this offseason. The Buffalo Bills bring in a huge number 1 target for Josh Allen, and that is Stefon Diggs from the Minnesota Vikings. Obviously, the dude was not happy whatsoever, but still, man, I don't think this is gonna work because he's 93 rated. He's a super young wide receiver, and he's so good. I don't even think it's gonna be close. But in real life, they got Diggs, and they also brought in a 7th round pick. Now, the problem is the Bills had to ship on a 1st round selection, 5th, and a 6th, and then a 2021 4th. And obviously, you can't throw in 4 draft picks. So what we're going to do is we're going to keep out the 7th on the Stefon Diggs side of things. And we'll, instead of making it a 5th and a 6th, We'll make it 2 5ths from this year, try to combine like the 6th round pick from this year and the 4th from next year. I don't know. This is not going to be close regardless. Submit this through. Look at that, dude. This is going to be ridiculous once again. So let's just try and make this simple. Let's throw in Josh Allen. Will they even want Josh Allen? They kind of do. Josh Allen, obviously a nice young QB. Tre'Davious White, one of the best young corners in the league. And Micah Hyde into this deal. They want all 3. It's okay. That's, honest to God, a lot closer than what I freaking expected. So instead of Micah Hyde, how about that 1st round selection? And it's getting closer. I honestly do think if we can get the number 1 overall selection, we might actually be able to make this happen. Final chance to bring in Stefon Diggs, Tre'Davious White, young QB Josh Allen, and the number 1 overall selection. We submit this through, and it still declined. It barely even went up at all. So I pulled some strings here, and I'm going to try one final trade. We've got Khalil Mack, David Bakhtiari, and Myles Garrett in this trade for Stefon Diggs. And they need an outside linebacker, they need a left tackle, they need a defensive end. Will this be accepted? And that's even worse. That's even freaking worse. So instead of Myles Garrett, how about the first overall selection is still declined. And the last bit of business I have here is I did make Matt Barkley a rookie 99 rated with Superstar X Factor. Will this help whatsoever? This is stupid, dude. So final bit of business. You guys know exactly what is coming. One of the craziest trades I think you could say maybe even in NFL history. The Arizona Cardinals acquired arguably the best receiver in the entirety of the NFL, and that is DeAndre Hopkins. This happened out of nowhere. DeAndre Hopkins, not only that, they also brought in a 4th round selection from this year. And all they had to trade away was David Johnson, 77 rated, a 2nd round selection from this year, and then a 4th round selection from 2021. Like, I already know this is about to be absolutely freaking ridiculous, so we're just gonna go ahead and show how stupid Bill O'Brien is. So submit it through. You know what? We've actually seen worse. This actually gives me some bit of hope. Why they value DeAndre Hopkins less than Stefon Diggs, I don't know, but that's just Madden for you. So maybe there's actually a possibility here. So let's try to keep in David Johnson for the heck of it, and we'll even keep in the 4th round selection for the Texans. We throw in the number 1 overall selection in the deal, and also throw in, we'll throw in that 2nd as well. Submit this through. It's halfway now. That's awesome. Great. Now let's just take out David Johnson, and let's throw in some of these crazy players that we have. Khalil Mack and David Bakhtiari. Submit this through. They don't even want one of the best young left tackles in the entire league. How about Matt Barkley? They barely even want a 99 rated rookie who has Superstar X Factor. So let's take him out too. Take him out of the equation. You want Myles Garrett by chance? So maybe they actually want David Johnson more than they want freaking David Bakhtiari. So we submit this through. It's not even out of the red yet, so this is making me feel extremely sad. So maybe the 1st round selection, 1st overall selection. So let's take out that 4th overall, or the 4th round pick. It's in the green. It's in the green. We have potential. So I've went and did everything I possibly can. So we have Khalil Mack, who's now a rookie in the 1st year of a 7-year deal, and he's now a 99 overall. Same exact thing with Myles Garrett. Now, if we can't get DeAndre Hopkins, I don't know what to say. Guys, all I know is I feel like, I mean, obviously trades like this shouldn't be simple, but like, there shouldn't be impossible players to get. Like, every player has a value. But with that said, this is the last chance we have. The perfect left outside linebacker, the perfect right end, and the number 1 overall selection for DeAndre Hopkins. When in real life, it only took freaking David Johnson. Submit this through. I'm going to sleep.